Alright, so I'm going to be showing how to open up and disassemble this Lenovo IdeaPad Flex 5 14ARE05. We're going to be replacing the keyboard, so let's go ahead and take out the replacement part. Alright, we're going to take a look and see. Came as the whole keyboard assembly. Alright. Came all wrapped up in this pink stuff. Okay, so we have the wireless antennas, okay, the whole keyboard thing, and that. We're gonna look at the other one just to see, make sure it looks the same. Okay, make sure this looks good. All right, looks good. And yeah, looks about the same. Has the hole for the fingerprint reader and everything. So I actually worked on one of these before, not the same exact model, but it's basically going to be the same. We're going to use a T5 Torx 5 screwdriver to remove all the screws from the bottom. As you can see, one's missing already. Actually, 3 are missing already. All right, keep the screws in order because they can be different size, shape, and lengths. The way I do that is I put them flat side down like that on my desk in the pattern I remove them. So we got that one, and then we got one over here because it's missing all the others, and then we got 4 at the bottom. All right. Obviously, you're going to want to take all of yours out. I'm going to actually move this screw over here and the other one over here because the hinge screws are honestly the most important, and both the hinge screws are missing here. So I'm going to try and swap them over unless the hinge screw mounts broke because those actually help hold the computer together and you don't want it to break. All right. So we're going to get these out. Sadly, Lenovo uses their own weird thin screws, and then they're also super long, so I don't have any backups or spares of that kind of screw. All right, once we get all the screws out, we're going to carefully, slowly open this. Oh, it looks like it turned itself on, so let me shut it down. Okay, so I don't know why, but Lenovo makes their computer turn itself on when you open the screen. I find that actually really annoying. All right, anyways, we're going to get our fingernails or pry tool in the gap between the bottom cover and the palm rest, and then I'm going to push with my thumbs on here. You want to be careful for the touchpad, you don't want to push on there, and there you go, you heard it pop out. Okay, you can see, let's see if we can pull the whole thing up and then slide. I'm going to slide my fingernail, you can slide a pry tool, and it actually popped the whole thing. Normally you'd have to kind of go and pry around the whole edge on the other side as well. But there you go, it came off. All right, I'm going to clean this out as well because it is a little dusty. All right, so let me clean that real quick and then I'll be back. All right, this part's also pretty dusty. Okay, actually there's a whole bunch of dust in the fan, so it's a good thing we're taking this out to clean it up. All right, so let me go do that and then I'll see you guys in a bit. All right, I'm back. So as you can see, clean the bottom out, all right, and cleaned out the fans as well. Okay, there you go, cleaned out the vents and everything. Okay, so we're not gonna go like completely taking every tiny little piece out because I show this on a lot of models and we basically just want to quickly get the keyboard replaced. All right, we're gonna switch back over to a P1 or JIS1 screwdriver, and we're gonna remove the screws holding the battery in place. Okay, so let's go ahead and get those out. All right, again, keep the screws in order because they can be different size, shape, and lengths. All right, if this video helps you out, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. And if it helps you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. All right, so we'll get all these screws out. Okay, now that we got that, we're gonna lift the battery up wherever you can. All right, this little tab helps. And then I'm going to get my finger underneath the cable there and then another on top. I'll pinch in between and then just wiggle side to side to pull. And there we go. There's the battery. Model number of this battery is right there, L19C3PD6. All right, we'll set that battery aside. And then after you disconnect the battery, it's always a good idea to open up the laptop and then press and hold the power button for at least 15 seconds to drain any residual power. All right, this makes it a lot safer to work on. All right, and yeah, if you're gonna be removing the screen and everything, you wanna hold the power button, drain that power. All right, it's only 15 seconds. Some people ask me, do I have to do that? I mean, you could rip out the whole screen without taking out any screws if you want, but you're gonna destroy stuff. Why do that? All right, so anyways, take that 15 seconds, hold the power button down, very important. All right, there we go. We'll let this drop back down. Okay, and then we're gonna just start disconnecting things. Let's actually, this design, we can go ahead and pull the screen out just like the other one. If you've seen my other video, we can pull this screen out first. So flip this latch up. Once you flip that latch up, this piece you pull up slightly. So get behind, pull it up slightly, and then pull it back. And there we go, screen is disconnected. We're gonna carefully now flip this back over. You wanna do this slowly, okay? And let's see if I can do this sideways like this, or if I do it this way, the screws might be in the way. Let's see. That should be okay. All right, so we'll get these screws. There's 3 screws here. The screw here closer towards the hinge and the hole here closer towards the hinge. Those are the screws that the case is supposed to help hold in place. So, like I said, I'm going to be moving screws to hold those because those are more important. All right, again, keep the screws in order. All right, if this video helps you out, please make sure, again, to like, comment, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. And if it helped you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. All right, if you can't help out that way, it would help a lot if you could watch a few of my other videos and then like and comment on those as well, because that's what the algorithm likes to see. And yeah, let's go ahead and lift this up. But yeah, other than that, if you can't help out that way, it would help a lot if you could watch a few of my other videos and then like and comment on those as well. Oh, one other thing, good thing I didn't just yank this up right away. I forgot there's a cable that runs along under here and it plugs in here. We're actually not going to take that out, so let me show you the shortcut here. So I did this on the other model. Okay, we don't need to take this board out right away. We're gonna take the rest of this out. Okay, so let's go ahead and go over here, and actually maybe I should start removing all the other stuff first just so you can see. Okay, so sorry for doing that early. Let's go ahead and actually put these screws back. I'm actually going to just put the 2 here because we don't need to get this third one down here right away. Okay, there's plenty of leverage from just those 2. All right, and I'm going to put these back so we can start taking out the other screws first. I completely forgot about that cable. I ran into that last time on the other one, and yeah, sorry, I completely forgot. All right, we're going to open this now, or close it all the way, sorry, not open it. All right, and then we're gonna get all the screws out for this stuff. So let's go ahead and get the fan. I'm gonna now zoom in since I kind of made it so there's more room. Now you know how to get out the hinges, so we'll see, because I'm gonna kind of not be able to zoom in that part later. All right, so the fan has 3, or actually, the fan only has 2 screws, so one there and one there. I'll take out those 2 screws, and then we can actually lift this up. So we're gonna grab the wings of the connector and then just wiggle and wiggle, and you can see it came out pretty easily. All right, we're not gonna pull this out because the foam pad, I'm gonna try and avoid tearing that if I can, but if it does end up tearing, then we'll just separate it. All right, so you can see there's some of this foam or the lint still stuck in there, so if you can, try and get that stuff out to help with the airflow. Okay. All right, well, can't get all of it out, but we'll get what we can. Here we go. Oh, okay, next we're gonna go ahead and get the other screws out. So we do want to disconnect this cable here. So which side does the latch? This side. Okay, so flip that latch up, and then we'll pull that out. Flip this latch up, and then we'll wiggle, lift slightly, and then pull that out. Keyboard backlight, lift that latch up. Same thing, lift slightly, and then wiggle. You can also use the thicker plastic tab to help pull that out. Keyboard latch is on the back here, and then you can go ahead and grab that, pull that out. All right, touchpad cable. All right, so this one's fingerprint reader. Did I call that touchpad? I don't know. All right, lift that up, and then wiggle and pull that out. Okay, wireless card. You could technically leave that attached, so I'm just gonna pull the antennas out. So the white one is going to the white arrow, black one's going to the black arrow. You just go from the tail and then just pull straight up, just like that. Same thing with the black one. All right, and then we'll get these out. So these wires kind of go in this notch and then somewhat go underneath there. All right, so we're gonna unhook that from the board, and we're gonna kind of take that out just so it's out of the way. All right, what else? We got the speaker connector here, so we're gonna grab in there. I just use my fingernails again and wiggle at the wings. Wiggle, 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 and it should eventually walk its way out. Just keep going. And there we go. Okay, what else? We got a few screws. There weren't that many screws that held this thing together, if I remember correctly. So there's these 2 screws here. Okay, so I'll remove those 2. And I think there was one more. Yeah, there's one more. Okay, so we got those 2 screws, and then there's the 1 screw here. There's a little arrow that points to it, so you know. Actually, on all these screws to the motherboard, so there's the white arrow there, and this one has 2 white arrows there, so you know where the screws came from. All right, so now that we got that, we can go ahead and, again, we'll first flip the fan back down. Okay, and let me zoom out here. We're gonna carefully open this thing back up. Okay, open the screen back up. Let me zoom back out a little more. All right, and then we'll go ahead and get the hinge screws out. Okay. Again, make sure if you didn't take that one out, take that screw out as well, the 3rd one. And then we'll take the 2 screws out on this side. And again, we're not gonna lift the whole thing out. Okay, so what we're doing right now, we're gonna lift this, just this side, and then kind of angle it over. That way we have room to pull the motherboard out, okay? So we should have all the connectors out. You will have to kind of be careful with this one because it's gonna get caught, this cable, right? So we're gonna flip the fan up here, and we're gonna carefully lift this, all right? So if you want, you can actually hold the whole fan together. Oh, this one detached the foam. Okay, so we're gonna carefully lift this up, as you can see, and then I'm gonna pull this side up. Sorry, you can't see. Okay, we're gonna carefully pull this side up, and then we have to get this out from under the hinge. So carefully work your way up. It's caught on something. What is it caught on? Let go. And we're basically going to swing it out, okay? Because remember, that wire is attached there. So that wire here is attached. So we're gonna actually flip this whole thing over, okay? As you can see, there's adhesive holding here, so we need to peel this up. So carefully peel that up. I'm pulling it this way as I'm pulling it up to try and keep it as flat as possible, okay? You don't wanna just yank the whole thing over that way, okay? So carefully pull that up. And there we go. So now we have the whole motherboard and this all attached. That makes it so that we can move the whole thing without having to disconnect this cable, which is difficult because it's kind of hidden underneath the heatsink. All right. So here we have the rest of this. We're gonna take this screw out. You can see they put a little arrow there to tell you where that screw goes. Okay. And then we should be able to lift this one out. There are raised mounts here, so you kind of have to lift it somewhat straight up. You can't just lift at an angle. So kind of pull it straight up like that. And there we go. So we got this piece out. This part also disconnects if you needed to unlatch it for some reason. It unlatches there, but I'm gonna leave that in there. Okay, this is for the 2 USB ports, the SD card slot, as well as the power button. So if for some reason your power button's not working or your computer's not turning on, you can try replacing this board or this cable, and sometimes that might fix the issue if somehow your power button broke. Sorry, it's garbage day, so they're tossing the trash. All right, so here is the replacement keyboard. We're gonna have to move a lot of stuff over. So it does have the wireless antennas in there, but it's missing, oh, what? Where's the other? Okay, normally this, I'm surprised, it's actually missing a magnet here. Did it stick to something? I don't see that other magnet anywhere here. So somehow, I don't know if it was there from the start. I'm gonna have to rewatch my video to make sure, but one of the magnets here is missing. I don't know where it would have went, but it's missing. Anyways, let's see. So we have the keyboard backlight, we have the keyboard cable. We need to transfer over the fingerprint reader and the touchpad, or why is my memory like touchpad, whatever, trackpad, there you go. All right, touchpad, trackpad, whatever you want to call it. You can see this wire just runs along here. There's nothing that holds it in place, so we got to migrate everything over, okay? And then also we have to migrate, just like on the other one, these little foam pads here with the little, this is kind of like a light, optical, whatever it's called, where it pulls the light from the flashing light here and then it makes it go out to here, kind of like a fiber optic thing. All right, I guess first thing we'll do, we'll take out the speakers. So these just come straight up. Okay, you just pull them out. They're just held in with the rubbery stuff. And this actually goes under the wireless antennas as well, but we'll do that once we get there. Okay, so first things first, we're gonna go ahead and remove the trackpad or touchpad, whatever you want to call it. All right, so we'll go ahead and get that out. So I think there's 4 screws holding it, if I remember correctly. Again, keep all the screws in order. 2, 3, and 4. All right, now that we got all those out, we're gonna lift it up from the front or the top or inner portion here, and then slide it out just like this. Okay, what is it caught on? Come on, let go. Okay, you might have to lift the whole thing off the table. Okay, there we go. So here's the touchpad. So we're gonna go ahead and put this into the new one. So just lift the keyboard and cables out of the way, slide that in, drop that down. Okay, pretty simple. All right, then we'll get this. Make sure you're not gonna screw it down on top of any wiring or cabling. And we'll get these screws in. Okay, get those 4 screws. All right, there we go. Okay, so this one, that's weird, they open this piece. So normally, let me peel this off. The white wire routes through that little piece. So let's see, we're gonna lift, get that out of the way, get that out. So they put a thing of foily tape on top. So pull that out of the way. Okay, have this go in the groove there. You can actually see the other one was kind of like that. Okay, and then have this follow that groove. And then we can actually put this foil tape on top to kind of keep it in there. And then we'll have that go there. Okay, and on the way it had it before, pretty sure. So we're gonna route this again. The black one was there first, and then the white one second. So it's on top. There we go, just like that. All right, what's next? So we got the touchpad. Now we need the fingerprint reader. So the fingerprint reader is right here. Should I zoom in here a bit for you guys? Okay, fingerprint reader's here. There's 1 screw. You're gonna have to take out this bracket so it comes up like that, and then this comes out, right? And the fingerprint reader comes up just like that. Very simple. So we'll move that aside again, and let's go ahead and get the fingerprint reader in. So fingerprint reader's here. You basically just drop it in. There's a little raised bump here to kind of help you align it. And then, yeah, so get that into that raised bump there. And then, it's only on this one corner for some reason. Then we'll get this piece, slot that back. So the 2 outer sides slot in, and then this piece, this one in the middle goes on top. So get that in there. Wedge it in. Lower this down. This part also has a raised plastic piece to help you align it. Okay, then hold that down and tighten this into place. All right, so there we go. What's next? We have the speakers, so let's zoom out here. Okay, so the speakers, you just drop them back in. The speakers themselves have these rubber pieces, so make sure the rubber pieces are still there, that they didn't fall off. Okay, so get this, push it back into place over the little plastic post. Make sure that the wire does go underneath all this stuff. So go. Okay, and then this side, same thing, line it up with the little posts, drop it in, and there we go. Speakers, very easy to put back. Okay, what's next? Okay, next we have the magnets. Again, one is missing, so I hope hope it's not going to cause any issues. I think that magnet's not going to be a problem. I think this middle one is the one that tells it what goes where. And I like to, let's see, where did my marker go? I like to draw on top so I know which side is face up. They did put some marker there, but just in case, I like to put my own blue mark there so I know, just in case, because sometimes they'll put the mark in different places. Okay, and then to get this out, I'm just going to use a small flathead screwdriver. If you've seen my other video, I did this one already again, so let's zoom in. Okay, so we got this, and we're basically going to just pry this up. So push this magnet all the way up here so you can kind of get in this groove, and then we'll pull this up just like that. You see, it came up, and then now that you have it raised up, you can go over here and help push it out. Just like that. All right. And then also you want to have a mark so you know which side is left and right so you don't accidentally flip it upside down. But there we go. Okay, we're going to get this in there. Huh. Okay, so that was weird. You see this antenna wire? It's going underneath where the magnet goes. Make sure that's not how it is. So I actually have to unthread the antenna wire and pull this out a little bit because it's not supposed to be trapped there. Okay, so I need to pull some of the antenna wiring over here. Okay, so we're gonna thread that back there, get that here, and this has to go around the bottom if you look at this one. Okay, so they actually put the antenna wire in wrong. Get that wrapped around there. Okay, and then it goes in all these little grooves here. Okay, goes around that side. Then again, goes down this groove, and then goes into this groove. Okay, you can tape over it, and then goes up that way. All right, there we go. If we need more slack, then we can kind of straighten this part out, but we'll leave it like that for now. Okay, let's go ahead and put the magnet in now. So this piece goes in there, and then kind of just shove it in. There we go. All right, got the other magnet here. All right, so here's the other magnet. Is there a broken plastic piece? What is that? Where'd that come from? Saw that rolling out around in the corner of my eye. Anyways, we got this other magnet. We're gonna pop that out, so just get in there. And then let's see, maybe from this side and wedge it out. And actually nothing holds that in place, so yeah, just like the other one I worked on. Interesting. I wonder if there was, now I'm wondering if there was a magnet and it fell somewhere. I'm gonna have to re-watch my video real quick and then find out, or I'll watch it later after I finish this, and then if I do find that there was a magnet, I'll have to look for it, and then I'll come back and put that magnet in. But anyways, there we go. Push that magnet into place, very simple. Okay, we got everything else. Now we just have to get these foam thingies and that tape out. Okay, this was, if I remember correctly, a little annoying. But yeah, okay, let's go ahead and try and get this thingy out. I'm gonna set this aside for now. Okay, I'm gonna zoom in here and see if I can show you guys this a little bit better. Okay, so basically we just gotta peel up this foam pad. Okay. I like to pull it, and then while I'm pulling it, just get underneath and slowly lift a little at a time, as you can see. Okay, or hopefully you can see, I don't know, my hand's probably all just in the way. So just peel it, and there we go. Okay, and if you look at this foam, it does have, it's not just a flat rectangle, okay? It actually has a little, oops, a little cut out to there so that it lines up with the other foam right there, okay? So this foam and this plastic piece we're gonna have to remove. We can actually pull the plastic piece out first, as you can see. And you can see how it's shaped. This part sticks out more, and then you have this post. So we're gonna get that out. Okay, and then it has that little thing that goes into the hole. Okay, so we'll get that with that side. I'm probably gonna have to use my tweezers to help do this later. We'll peel up the tape as well. Okay, that just covers the plastic there. And then we have to get off this foam part here. And if you look at it, okay, I think the thicker portion is at the bottom, that foam, and then it's thinner on top. So let's go ahead and get this out. Okay, here we go. And there's the foam piece. Okay, again, it's thicker towards the bottom, or I guess towards the top of the palm rest, and then thinner towards the bottom where the cover goes. Okay, so let's go ahead and reattach all this stuff. So first thing, I guess we can put the tape. Let's see, I'm gonna move this foam out of the way. All right, so we're gonna first apply this tape. Where's that? Here, okay. I'm gonna try and put it back the same way it was before. So get that, stick that down. Okay, next we have the little foam piece. This foam piece here. So we're just gonna get that in. Oh, my magnet's sticking to that. All right, so we'll get that foam piece in there. Kind of just push it down. Sorry, I know it's like not good lighting because of that. I wonder if I can, what can I need something black that's black and thin to put there just so you can see better. Let me see, maybe this foam. Did that help? I don't know. All right, so we'll get that in there. Next, we have the little white plasticky optical, whatever you want to call it, fiber optic-y kind of thing. We'll get that in there.
macOS contains a built-in screen reader called VoiceOver. If you know how to use VoiceOver, press. Okay, sorry, I have another computer I'm working on. All right, we're gonna get this in there, kind of. Come on, finding it, that little. The problem is getting this piece, so you can actually line this up in advance and then try and line up the little part that sticks out there with the hole. That makes it a little bit easier. There we go. And then while you're kind of holding that, I guess you can go ahead and push that in. Perfect. Okay. All right, so that looks good. You can see the little plastic thing is in that hole. All right, and then the last piece, we have to get this back in there. And you just line that up. This part goes on the outside of that plastic, you can see, lines up like that. And goes like that. Pretty simple. Okay, so there we go. Let's go ahead now and get everything back together, okay? So let's zoom out. Get that foam and put it away. All right, so next we got to get the full screen assembly back in. Technically, I think we could put this first because it goes underneath. It'll be easier. We'll get that in. Get this screw into place. Make sure everything's lined up. All right, tighten it down. Perfect. Okay, let's go ahead and get the motherboard and everything here. So we'll get this piece. Wait, should I put the motherboard first? No, this has to go first because this sticks underneath. So we'll get this, line it up. Okay, get this all lined up. And then, oh, I'm just kidding. The motherboard's right here. I'm holding it. It's all together. All right, I'm gonna flip this over. I'm not gonna really worry too much about sticking this completely flat down. If you want, you can start like sticking some of it down, but the heatsink is just gonna go on top and smash it down, so I'm not too worried about that. All right, so now we're gonna have to pull this up to get the motherboard underneath. The other thing is you have to make sure all these other cables go on top, so like the speaker cable, the wireless antennas, all these other things, you have to make sure they go on top. So for now, I'm gonna actually pull the wireless antennas out of there. Okay. And then the speaker you kind of have to hold out of the way because it goes underneath the motherboard slightly. Okay, now we're gonna work to get this lined up, this side, the right side, whatever you want to call it. Okay, line up the raised plastic posts here, get that in, okay. And then you gotta tilt this over because this needs to kind of wedge into there. So get that in, okay. Can be a little tricky. Come on, get in. Am I smashing something under there? No. Other than the little light thingy that's there. Okay. So get that in. Alright, I think that's good. And we'll drop this back down.
in place. There we go. All right, make sure we got everything. First, we're gonna reattach the LCD LVDS cable. So flip that latch up. And let me see if I can zoom in a bit here for you guys to see. Okay, make sure that latch is up. Goes in slightly at an angle. Okay, tilt it downwards. Get that all the way in. Slide that latch down again. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get these screws in. Again, you don't want to do the one that's closer to the hinge. That one's for the bottom case cover. So tighten that screw in, tighten this screw in. Okay, good. All right, what else? We got anything on this other side other than the screws? Let's go ahead and get these 3 screws in. Get that screw, tighten it down. This screw, tighten that down. And the last screw here, tighten that down. Okay, again, you want to make sure none of the cables are trapped underneath. So let's go ahead and zoom out. Now that we got all the hinge screws, we can actually close the laptop screen. Okay, just like that. All right, so make sure this cable's on top. Make sure that cable's on top. These 2 are over here. This cable, okay. So I think we should be good. I think everything that needs to be on top is on top. Okay, and let's go ahead and start getting all the screws in. So we got the 2 fan screws. This one over here. And this one over here. I like to twist it backwards to hear it click into place and then tighten it down. Why is this one just turning non-stop? Oh, the plastic for this fan is broken. Okay, that's not good. Okay, so the plastic for this fan is broken. Let me see if I can actually super glue it or something together. Okay, you can see the plastic that holds this is broken. I don't know if we'll be able to put it back. Probably not. Let's see. All right, does it go that way or did I flip it upside down? The plastic got crushed, so I don't know if it's gonna stick back together. That's the problem. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna stick back together. Okay, let's see. I can maybe get it. So we'll try a little bit of super glue here. We gotta be careful because we don't want to get it on everything else. Okay, but I'm probably gonna get it all stuck to my fingers and this is not gonna end well, but yeah, nope, that's not gonna end well. It's all stuck to my fingers already. I can already see it. Give me a second, I need to get some of this out. But yeah, it's probably gonna be stuck to my finger forever now. Okay, so we got this piece. I'm gonna try and stick it back together. All right. My finger's gonna be stuck to it. Let's actually separate the foam here, and then we can work on it a little bit better. There's a hair stuck to it. Okay, so got that. Let me see if I put a little baking powder on it, or baking soda, to help solidify this. Oh, that didn't work. It just separated. See, it's just stuck to my finger. All right, here we go. All right, I'm gonna try putting a little more. It's somewhat staying together, but it's gonna just fall apart. Put some more super glue there. We'll sprinkle some of this onto there. Sorry, I know my head's getting in the way. Okay, so there's that.
a little on the outside here, same thing. Alright, get some baking powder on there. Or baking soda, sorry. Alright, hopefully that will hold together well. Definitely my finger is going to be held together well. Alright, let me clean up this stuff here. Uh-oh, some of the baking powder or the super glue got stuck there. Okay, there we go. Alright, let me clean this up. Alright, so let's go ahead now and get this fan back into place. Line it up. Let's actually get this foam fell down. Make sure it goes on top. Okay. There we go. Let's see if we can somehow get this all good. I think it's just going to break again, so we're going to kind of more loosely fit it. Okay. Get that screw in. A little more loose, don't over tighten. Okay, it's holding. There we go. Alright, there we go. Now let's go ahead and reconnect the fan connector. Alright, let me zoom in here. Fan connector here, line it up, pinch that in. Alright, USB ports as well as the power button. Flip that latch, make sure, get that in. What's that? Get that dust out. Okay, line that up, get that in. Okay, slide that down. Fingerprint reader, get this. Make sure this is out of the way. Okay, get that in. Slide your finger over the latch. Alright. Keyboard backlight connector. Make sure, get that in. Okay. Slide your finger over the latch. There we go. And then I like to push this into the groove here and then crease it down so it's kind of more tucked in there. Okay, like that when the battery goes on top. Alright, so that way when the battery goes, it will do that. Keyboard connector here. Make sure that latches up. Get that in. Okay. You're gonna have to push the blue portion. Okay, like that. And then slide your finger over to latch it down. You can now go ahead and lower this and pinch that. Crease it a little. Alright. Touchpad connector. Make sure that latches up. Get that in. Slide your finger over to latch it down. Alright, so we got the antenna here. Get it through the groove, get it underneath the motherboard. Okay, and then get it through this little area there. Pulls the little sleeve off. Angle it this way. Make sure it hooks on. And then click it down. Okay. Just like that. Alright, the white one, same thing. Sorry, into that groove. Angle it around. Go underneath the motherboard. Up through the groove. Pull the sleeve off. Okay. Curve this around as well. Get it lined up. Then click it down. There we go. Alright, wireless antenna's in. Speaker connector, line that up. Pinch that. Alright, I think we just got the motherboard screws, so 2 screws on this USB-C port here. The customer, I don't think they didn't give me their charger, so I don't have a way to power this one on. I hope the battery's charged. It did turn on earlier, so I think it should be good. The only thing is there's no CMOS BIOS real-time clock RTC battery, so hopefully it will still turn on. Some computers don't like turning on until you plug it in the first time after disconnecting the battery. So there we go, we got that in. Let's zoom out. We got everything. Now we just got to get the battery back and we should be good to go. Alright, so line this up here. Okay, this cable is supposed to kind of go underneath, not that it really matters.
Let's get the battery in. I'm gonna have to rewatch my video again to see if there was a missing, if there always was a missing magnet there. Anyways, we're gonna pinch the battery connector back in, get the battery back lined up. If I do see that there was a battery there, I mean a magnet there before, I'm gonna look for it, and then once I find it, we'll be back. But if there wasn't, then this is gonna be the end of the video. Anyways, hopefully this video helped you guys out. Again, if it did, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade or repair their devices as well. And if it helped you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. Again, if you can't help out that way, it would help a lot if you could watch a few of my other videos and then like and comment on those as well. I also have another channel called It's Been Reviewed, where the profile picture is just further zoomed in. If you can subscribe to that channel, I'd greatly appreciate it. I need to reach 500 subscribers. If you're wondering, the RAM is actually underneath this, soldered to the motherboard. You can't replace it. So yeah, all right, anyways, let's go ahead and get the bottom cover back on, power this thing up, and see what we got. Pretty sure everything is reconnected. Okay, we'll get this back in, click this all back down. Okay, good. Again, we're gonna switch back over to the T5 or Torx 5 screwdriver, and I'm gonna put the corner screws here. So they only had one in the middle and then one on the side. The side screws aren't as important, so I'm gonna put the screws in the corners here. So that one and this one. All right, and then we're gonna put the 4 smaller screws down here. And that's pretty much it. We're gonna power it on so you can see if everything's working okay. I'm gonna need the customer's password to be able to test the keyboard. So we'll probably test that off camera, but we'll just make sure we can do like some minimal stuff like pressing the arrows and things like that. All right, so there we go, last screw. Good, let's go ahead and flip this over, power it up, and see what we got. So we got that. Power button, the power button light is coming on, so we're good. I don't have a way to test the charge light now because I don't have the charging cable. All right, so the keyboard light just went off, and like I said, we did disconnect the main battery, which is also the BIOS CMOS RTC real-time clock battery. So there's a good chance it's resetting the BIOS. Yeah, I can see the caps lock light is going on and off. Oh, here you go. Real-time clock, blah, blah, blah. Check some CMOS bad. So basically it's resetting the BIOS. Okay, and there you go, it turned on. So I'm gonna check the up arrow, and it works. All right, it's always a good idea to restart the computer one time so the tab key works. Okay, oop, did that just do shutdown? I meant to do restart, I pressed it twice. The menu didn't pop up right away, so I pressed it a second time and I think it just shut down. All right, so, or it went to sleep. Okay, yep, all right, and then we're gonna do a restart and restart anyways. And that's pretty much it. It looks like it's good. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Again, if there's the magnet, I'll be back, but if not, then the magnet's gone. All right, let's drop this. Bye.